My mastery journey has been a tumultuous one filled with more downs than ups and far more fails than successes. Trying to be a self-sustaining independent artist may be the hardest occupation to achieve. Everyone's opinion of you, no matter what the level of expertise, can make or break you. But with all of this, I have a love and passion for music that, in times of discouragement, I find myself deeply entrenched with music. The master that resonates with me mostly is John Coltrane. I selected Coltrane initially because of his musical abilities, also because of his journey to find himself musically. Robert Greene states in Mastery that when Coltrane heard Charlie Parker's sound, he was transfixed. He'd never imagined such possibilities in music. For myself, growing up in the 80s, there was always an amalgamation of music. It wasn't until I really became involved with writing music that I started listening to lyrics intently. This is when I started to see the possibilities in music, like the use of melody and metaphor. Coltrane created a sound all his own through playing and studying other musicians, aptly coercing the subtitle, The Authentic Voice. Greene goes on to write, Coltrane's wandering existence suited him well. He felt as if he needed to internalize every conceivable style of music, but this also caused him some problems. When it came time for him to perform solo, he was quite awkward and halting. He had an unusual sense of rhythm and hopping and skipping style that was peculiar to him and not quite right for the bands he was playing for. Like Coltrane, I've studied and played in various groups and bands. I was not always perfect vocal fit in these bands due to my eclectic music background. I've always had a unique style and authentic voice. If I was to interview Coltrane face to face, the first question I would ask him is, what made you not want to conform to be everyone's musician? Music is a business of conformity. Coltrane was never one to truly fit in, but was a huge success. I would want to know what kept him on his own path of originality. Greene states, to see ourselves objectively, we have to look at the negative events in our past. People sabotaging our work, bosses firing us for no logical reason, nasty personal battles with colleagues. This is a relative truth for all musicians. Most artists are torn down for no apparent reason. I think this question would help to inspire originality. Next, the question I would ask is, being so different from other musicians, how did you deal with feedback? Robert Greene states, we sometimes have the experience of doing work that we consider to be quite brilliant, and then are rather shocked when we receive feedback from others who do not see it the same way at all. In such moments, we are made aware of the discrepancy between our emotional and subjective relationship to our own work, and the response of others who view it with complete detachment, capable of pointing out flaws we could never see. He goes on to say, to have the power to see ourselves through the eyes of others would be of immense benefit to our social intelligence. We could begin to correct flaws that offend, to see the role that we play in creating any kind of negative dynamic, and to have a more realistic assessment of who we are. 2 of the 7 deadly realities that can have an impact on my journey are conformism and flightiness. With conformism, I feel like I don't fit in with most work situations. My personality is really outspoken. So I think I try my best to keep to myself and be quiet, but as soon as something happens to me in a negative connotation, I feel like I need to say something, so that's something I need to get under wraps. The second one is flightiness. The book says watch out for people that are flighty. And in music, 9 out of 10 artists or musicians are most of the time flighty, so I definitely have to evaluate everyone thoroughly with this. That's my presentation. Thanks for checking it out, and I'm looking forward for my donut and or cake cookie sundae next week in class.